Okay, Volibear has had his cooldown changed on this patch. So Volibear at the professional level is probably going to be pretty good, guys. His Q got buffed. His Q got buffed pretty significantly. Like thank you very much for your Ledert for your subscription with Tier 1. Let's talk about Volibear a bit. So on 14.4, he got some pretty significant buffs. His Q got buffed so that he actually goes at 24% faster towards you on his Q at level 1. And which is like quite fast, and you max Q first, so you get really, really fucking fast as Volibear now. Plus, they decreased the cooldown of his E by a second, and then they pretty substantially reduced the cooldown of his ult as well. They also lowered the turret disable by a second, but that shouldn't really be that big of a deal. He also doesn't get complete CC immunity during his ult jump anymore. He only gets displacement immunity, so you can't move him, basically. But you can stun him. But honestly, like, having more frequent use of his R is better than having the extra second of disable on a turret, in my opinion. So is he Cocaine Bear now? Yes, he is. He runs incredibly fast at you. I've played a couple games of the new Volibear. I think he's really strong at the moment. Golden Sleetix, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. The disable immunity was a big loss. Yeah, because now he can get stunned on entry. True. But the more... basically, you know, a pro team can use 2 seconds of tower immunity at his level 1 ult to kill almost anybody anyway.
Orianna, personally, that's just me. I like the matchup versus Talia. I feel like there is...
But he goes super fast because you just do Q max and you just run at people, and you can play press the attack, and like basically you can proc press the attack off of like Q auto W, and then plus if you're ganking bot side and you have the Lucian single target damage, the PTA does a lot.
Jan, who is on pros, talking about this, and he said he felt that a lot of people kind of misunderstood the point of Lucian Nami.
Is Volibear the new Rise where he's good in pro but trash in solo queue? He's really good in solo queue. Why would he be trash in solo queue? He's really strong in solo queue, I think. Because you can just delete people. He's a great duelist, guys. Like, you can actually just fucking 1v1 bully people with him.
That's kind of how he was looking at the power of this pick and this duo. You know, how do you see Lucian Nami and kind of how it fits into pro play?
Yeah, I think I kind of interpreted it similarly to you, where you expect the Nami Lucian to be able to...
He's going to be really good in pro.
...to like a strong mid game with the gold advantage, but
and he's good in solo queue, in my opinion.
...advantage in lane, that it's still strong in mid game with this fight. Like just...
Niramen, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription.
All right, well, hold on now. We've got the Hui being hovered with the Orianna that you called out earlier. Dignitas respecting that sort of line of thinking, banning that out. Also,
Volibear seems like a peanut jungler. I agree. Does seem like a peanut jungle.
Pick to choose for top lane into almost any matchup. Pick that one blind. They don't want him taking that.
All right, they're going to take Hui. Hui just seems like such an insanity champion. He loves these fucking... I mean, he loves his Xerath, right? He loves this shit.
Welcome to the cage match between Shopify Rebellion and Dignitas.
Kobe, plant your feet. Dude, you've been on camera talent for years. Stop shifting your weight. Holy smoly. Just stand there.
Shopify team, who are you ganking? Who's the easiest?
They're all free ganks. Everyone can die, yeah. I mean, David doesn't have a dash this
I'm
game,
Kobe.
so he's a pretty easy target.
He's on a ship, guys. He can't help it. They're actually on a barge. That's what you don't know. That's why we have animatronic Blippo That's why Kobe's just like swaying all over the place. They're actually just on the high seas.
The classic, the classic. All right, good clean game. Expect those ganks or the mind games that are coming with it. There we go. Oh,
I love Insanity. He's so funny.
Oh my god, Insanity is too funny, man.
He's great.
First the eyebrows yesterday. I don't know if you caught that at the beginning of the day where he's doing the eyebrow wiggles to the camera and stuff. The guy's cracking me up.
Not afraid to flex a little personality there, but it will be the Gnar locked in for Dignitas, for Rich in the top lane. This Sejuani picked up for XU like they were talking about. What will this final choice in this draft be for far? Shopify going to take their time.
Shopify have basically no engage at all.
Chase. Oh, I was just about to say that.
You think they're just going to play kind of like longer range?
Yeah. Chase is, you know, classic. Like a lot of top laners love playing that into Gnar. Chase just pretty strong buffs for laning. So I like the pick.
So the Jason and Nars not a surprise, but you do not actually. You have strong siege with this composition and strong kite, but you have no engage. Like actually, just zero engage. Zero engage. Like Volibear is not tanky enough under most of the rune and item choices, because with Volibear, you're probably gonna, your first item is probably gonna be what, like Sundered Sky, Sun Sky, or Iceborne, right? And then from there you probably build Dead Man or Spirit Visage. So it takes still like 3 items before you get reasonably tanky. So yeah, this means that they just have to be first on objectives. They will never really be able to muscle their way into an objective, and this tank line is pretty scary if Gnar is in Mega, plus Sejuani, plus Talia. And now that Volibear is not CC immune during his ults, he can actually get stunned by Talia E if he is on top of it, and Talia is very strong into Lucian in general. Because he's low range, and you can kind of just use your E to prevent him from dashing in to do damage. Was I drawing? It wasn't on screen. Ah, shit, man. All my drawing hasn't been on screen. Ugh. I've been drawing a lot, guys. Why didn't you say anything? There it is. Yeah, I was writing a bunch of stuff on the screen.
Shopify, I think their composition seems so much less forgiving to me.
Wow, E-Cabbage is the first person who noticed.
Right? Like especially when we're getting towards this end of the season, when we're getting
I mean, if you see me like writing with my mouse, guys.
After this one, with how close these standing
He drew Vi equals turd.
You gotta make sure that every single game
Sorry, you guys is trolling me. You probably think it's funny. We were being polite.
At teams that don't draft a lot of engage when they've been having some issues with communication and coordination already. So I think if they want to walk away with a dub here, they're really going to have.
You're welcome for streaming GP fencing.
And as a team, making sure they don't fall into
Who is good versus Volibear? Lilia. Lilia's pretty annoying. Lilia's pretty annoying.
Yeah, I feel like on paper, Shopify Rebellion, honestly, it looks like to me they have 3 winning lane matchups, and you know they have a jungler that can.
Yeah, we already watched. Oh no, we haven't watched C9TL yet. We'll watch that one next.
Then I can see their 5v5 being pretty tough to execute. You know, very squishy. 4 squishy champs with only 1 volley as frontline could get run over if you don't find a big lead early.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anyone who gets engaged on is probably going to get one shot.
control. He take
no stacks at all. Solo queue, and you can get a lot both from
instead. Yeah, great.
Well, how did we skip that far in the game?
This one.
What the fuck?
play where people have all
Yeah, and
I mean, what would you say?
Am I going crazy, guys? What the?
I would like any in-game crazy.
There we go. That was weird. Mike and Ike sponsors Dignitas. What is Gamer Tech? And Noble Chairs. Dude, these sponsors, though. I'ma slap you. Thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I mean, Mike and Ike's are good, but they're no trolly sour bright crawlers. You know what I mean, guys?
Back on the
Hey, did you know that Shopify Rebellion is sponsored by Shopify?
The Sejuani we saw earlier in the day was rocking the Summoner Spellbook. Generally, that is an adaptation playing into Trundle, going back to the Aftershock in games that do not have
Does
his
drug
presence
testing
there.
occur in
As
esports?
always, gonna be keeping an eye
No,
on
but in my
Trundle's
opinion,
game,
it should.
In particular, seeing how fast he stacks up, getting to those critical breakpoints for the 25 early on, and then the 225 later for the execute.
I will say I'm a little bit surprised that Tomo's actually playing cleanse. There's not that many good things to cleanse. Like, sure, there's some sort of CC potentially coming out from Hui. There's the Volibear Q. That's about it. There's
Yep,
not really a
Adderall
lot of
testing should be a
value
thing.
to be got
100%.
from
Totally
this.
agree with you.
Shopify was like spam pinging that he is
Totally
sponsored.
agree.
I'm really happy to see it.
I mean, I feel like when you're already playing kind of a losing 2v2 bot and then you're playing
Not that
cleanse,
it
you should be
takes
useless in the 2v2.
any amount of
Like,
effort
that just
to
makes it even harder.
get a
Bro,
subscription,
yeah, I feel like maybe
like a
some
prescription
expectations
for that
will
if
be
you
really past Ignite,
just
like
want
aggressively
to.
players will
Yeah,
do that.
just try to cleanse it.
Go to your doctor, tell them you have trouble focusing, and they're like, "Here's some amphetamines."
I feel like barrier or something's gonna be more
Outrageous.
value.
I agree with you.
But yeah, it absolutely should be a
So
thing,
we'll see.
in my
We'll see if they're
opinion.
gonna be punished. We've seen some
Not for weed or
games
anything like
go
that, guys,
very
but
tragic.
drug testing for
One
Adderall.
yesterday from Tactical, where things went really bad really early, and it can super push you back on how fast you're going to be able to stack this up. The new kind of modern build we're seeing now is people still sticking with Essence Reaver, but it seems to be Essence Reaver into Shojin. Obviously gives you a ton of CDR. You're going to have no limit on the amount of mana you have, and hopefully really be able to ramp up how much you're stacking in the mid game. As B-Boy and Zazel dropping that deep ward, looking to see if they can get a little bit of chip damage on them as they're walking to lane, but I think Tomo and Isles being very safe, not going to challenge through the tri-brush. They know there's no shot.
One time, when I owned Renegades, guys, I brought up to Riot, to one of the leaders of Riot Esports. I said, I think we should do drug testing for Adderall. And he laughed and said, well, then we would have to suspend the entire league.
Scrap with that 2v2,
So, I tried,
it's gonna be
guys. I
playing
tried.
safe and walking
That was the
along there.
response I got.
One of those situations where you look at what you might gain from that choice, and there's
I thought it was a
just
weird answer,
nothing
personally.
there that's gonna go positive. So just
You can
try to,
gain one stack.
try to get the stacks going
Stack for
in the
first blood.
lane
Good trade.
instead. Yeah, great choices. But remember that in the previous games we've seen Tomo on this champion. Usually he'll hit that 225 breakpoint around the 23-minute mark somewhere. So that's where I'm going to be expecting this one to be as well, unless things just completely go awry one way or the other. You can see junglers both starting off in their red side quadrants.
You wonder why I hate Riot, guys. Shit like that.
Yeah, you can really optimize the stacks, especially if you're scrapping early. You know, and especially if you are playing against some of these easier lanes, then you can get a lot both from CS and from kind of poking away on your opponents. The fastest I've seen in competitive is sub 20, you know, in 19-minute-ish range. That's about as fast as I've seen it. In solo queue, you can get it really fast, but it'll be interesting to see how they can do it. And also, I mean, even in that game from Tactical, he got it around 26 minutes after an absolutely abysmal start where he had no stacks at all because his team put him mid and then we're donating him wolves at Raptors over and over and over.
Ooh, XU forced to flash out. I was thinking we were just going to get the full clear.
Absolutely abysmal start where he had no stacks
Okay,
at all.
so it is PTA. It is PTA Volibear, and so at level 3 you have your Q,
Team put him mid
and
then
so
we're
this is what happens. By the way, guys,
donating him wolves at
this is because remember his E does percent HP damage. So once he starts stacking this on you, he can really fuck you up.
Advantage of that hard-winning matchup in the 1v1 there with the Volibear versus Sejuani forcing
over and over. Even in that game from is sub 20, you know, in 19-minute-ish range, playing against some of these easy.
this is a nice play. They got a ward in, so they know exactly where the Sejuani is.
The fastest I've seen in competitive is sub 20, you know,
Early,
19-minute-ish
right
range.
here,
That's about as
because they
fast
see the
as I've seen
Sejuani
it.
walking up. So right here, Boogie actually just responds to this by cutting off where this Sejuani would likely be walking.
Because his team put him mid and then we're
It's a good read.
wolves at Raptors over and over and over.
Ooh, XU forced to flash out. I was thinking we were just going to get the full clear, but no, Boogie taking advantage of that hard-winning matchup in the 1v1 there with the Volibear versus Sejuani, forcing the summoner spell out of the Dignitas jungler.
Yeah, I was going to be going in for a hook there, trying to trade back. Nice seismic shove in from Dove. It's getting pretty scrappy in mid lane here. So talk to us about this from the Hui point of view, Pope. You know, you're saying you feel this is a winning matchup for Hui. What is it about this matchup that you kind of like from that side?
I think Talia is always susceptible to just tanking EE and a W auto. Wow, this guy took 2 turret shots.
Ooh, yeah, that was pretty rough for shot.
Like from that side?
I think Talia is always susceptible to just tanking EE and a W auto.
Feel this is a winning matchup for Hui.
Wait.
What is it
Susceptible to
about this
just tanking EE.
kind of like from that side?
I think Talia is always susceptible.
Oh, he tagged Tomo. It's like, how'd he get aggro there? Whoops.
Yeah, that was
Sloppy.
bottom lane there. Little unlucky.
And you can see that Tomo was really their bot side about the dive. This is something we've seen happen a lot to Smolders, where the wave gets stacked on them. They're getting pushed in on the wave. The jungler comes down. We knew Boogie.
What is XU doing, dude?
Just tanking EE and a W auto. Wow, this guy took 2 turrets.
Wait, I thought I was like having deja vu, guys, because XU actually just fucking comes back bot side where he just did his camps and died.
About the dive. This is something we've seen happen a lot to Smolders, where the wave gets stacked on them. They're getting pushed in on the wave. The jungler comes down.
Why is he coming down here? You can't dive that. You can't dive. There's a fucking Nautilus there. They're full HP. Like, even without B-Void taking the 2 turret shots, I don't think you can dive that. I don't think you can dive that as just Nami and Lucian. And they were far enough back that there wasn't actually... Like, Volibear can't dive this either. Like, he's not going to come down there. They have it warded. Oh, no, they don't have it warded. But, like, if he starts to show up, they can still get out. I don't know what XU's fucking doing. He's actually just trolling his own jungle. He's now, like, 3 camps behind. He literally has this entire quadrant of the jungle that he hasn't done yet, and we're 3.5 minutes into this game, which means that he's basically just giving up grubs for free.
And XU had been pushed out of their bot side jungle, so I think he was very nervous that Volibear, could have been down there, could have been wrapping behind. So that's why Tomo and Isles did back off. But B-Void takes a couple turret shots.
It's going to be bad, guys. Boogie's going to be like a level or 2 up as a result of this. But very fortunate timing on that Scryer's Bloom to catch the ward right as it was placed.
They obviously... Do they have a Targon charge? They do have a Targon charge for the cannon, so we'll be able to crash this no problem.
Up to 11 stacks now. All right. Usually
he could invade too.
25 breakpoint around. I think the 6 or 7 minute mark has been where we're seeing it in pro play. Kind of depends a lot on early on if you can hit the double snot bubble on both enemy players at the same time. Since you do not have the AoE on your Q for the farming just yet, that'll be one of your faster stacking mechanics. As you can see, Boogie again just trying to place down some vision here in the enemy jungle.
Just recall, he has a chance to go buy right now and then go take grubs immediately.
For both Way and Talia. You were talking earlier about how you kind of prefer Lost Chapter builds and even like Luden's Rush and stuff like that on Talia. So talk me through kind of the differences between some of these builds and what you think Dove might be going for.
Yeah, well, when I play solo queue, I feel like Luden's is just better because you spike faster and have more damage. Definitely.
So that's interesting. He went Doran's Blade into Health Crystal, so he really wants to probably duel this Sejuani.
Standard stuff.
You can go Boots of Lucidity first as well, just for that extra boost of speed.
Like 3 camps for a while, whereas Volley had full cleared, and then bot was like winning pretty hard, and then
I don't know what XU's doing though. That was not good.
Actually, that play just died to creeps.
A little bit rough on that one. Still, well, a +2 wave advantage for B-Boy up over Tomo, but
yeah, no, it's good. It's good, especially for like Xin Zhao or with Volibear. For pressing an advantage.
All of our solo laners now level 7. You can see Rich just tagging it now as another one of those choose flies out from Tomo as he gets closer and closer to the 25 CS mark.
Yeah, that was really good CSing from Tomo. I don't think he missed a single one. You can even get.
All right, so he's just gonna go for the Drake instead, I guess. All right, he's gonna go Drake instead of Grubs. Fine. I guess this makes sense. You're taking advantage of your strong bot side into early Drake stacks. Should be free.
Boogie, though, going to take this time to start up the dragon. We can see XU will get eyes on this. We'll see if they think that they can do anything about it as their bot lane is pushed in. Insanity, we know, is going to be in the area and will be pushing XU back.
Insanity will not land any of the CC there, but doesn't need to. Just forcing him out of the way, making sure that there's no contest here on the Drake. That is a Drake #1 secured at 6.5 minutes into the game, so pretty early. Also not trading it away for the Void Grubs at the same time as Fake God versus Rich. The 1v1, Fake God sidestepping away there, flashing out of the range of the wallop. returning another auto attack, but does not want to.
Good trades for Rich.
Away. Both of them now very low on HP, but critically the difference is Fake God now without Flash. We'll see if Dignitas can move anybody else up and punish that here in the next 5 minutes.
And Rich just got the honey fruits as well, so he actually doesn't even have to base. And if that boulder toss was going to connect, you know, maybe Fake God would have had to flash even earlier. Might have potentially not been able to get that little bit of chunk down onto Rich, and Rich maybe could have looked to actually follow in. But with no TP, the wave will crash. I'm not sure if it's a cannon wave on top or not.
I think it's hard to justify Merc Treads onto Volibear sometimes because he benefits so much from cooldown reduction from Boots of Lucidity. Not only because you get your flash back faster, but because, like, he kind of is a sustain tank. So the more Ws you can get off, and the more ease you can get off for shield in a team fight, the better, like, the more survivable you're going to be. So Boots of Lucidity are very good on him.
Pretty sad as the Jace side. Honestly, I started going just Conquer on Jace every game so I can just fight to the death. With the phase rush, he was just kind of losing out 1v1.
Yeah, 66 to 58 for farm. I mean, plus one wave advantage isn't really anything to write home about. You can see in the top of the screen right now about a 700 gold lead globally.
He's a solo front line into that team. Yeah, but he's not, I mean, that's not going to be the difference between him being a successful frontliner or not. Their composition is not designed to have any frontliners. Like, he basically is there as a snowball mechanism, particularly for their bot lane, to get ahead by using his ult and then to stack Drakes. And then they just need to make sure they have priority. So I think ideally you play Volibear in this composition by diving bot with your ultimate, if possible, and then transitioning that into Drakes, because you just need objective priority. You need to get a kill with the Volibear and then get to the objective, because you're never gonna be able to probably win a straight up like front to back 5v5. You either have to win via poke, and they have to walk into you to do that. So you need to get into a situation where you're going to be capable of kiting.
Now up to 39 stacks, it looks like there. So really going to start to accelerate as you start to pick up more and more CDRs. You get more points in those abilities. You can
be better if he wasn't a front line at all, like Nidalee. You don't need more poke than you have. And his ult for tower diving and just his ability to isolate a target. Because remember, by having pressed the attack, you're amplifying damage for your team as well, and you can actually catch somebody out very easily and just 100 to 0 one target. I mean, he's really good at isolating targets, guys, now, because you can't escape from him. He's too fast. He's like he's like he's like how Chem Tank used to be, guys. Think of his Q as like Chem Tank. That's how fast he is, especially with like a level 5 Q. He is so fucking fast with level 2 boots and a level 5 Q. You're not getting away. Which is fun because I think his Q with the changes really does fulfill like the bear fantasy. Like, you cannot run. You can't run.
And honestly, for both teams, you really want to find a win here. The last 3 games remaining, particularly from Dignitas' side, we'll talk about them first because they are the ones slightly behind right now in terms of the gold. Their last 3 remaining opponents in the Super Week are C9, TL, and FlyQuest. That is not an easy lineup. That is not an easy schedule to have to face here at the very end, as you're trying to make sure you don't end up being one of those last couple of teams to not.
Would Ghost instead of Flash be overkill? I think Flash is better because it allows you to flash out when you turret dive. So you turret dive in with your R for the first couple of seconds, and then you can flash out if you need to.
Keep your hopes alive, for a championship, for that MSI berth as well. Means a lot.
And over on the other side, we think about Shopify. They've still also got to play C9, but then they have Energy and 100 Thieves as well. And obviously, this whole split has been very competitive. There's been a lot of parity between pretty much everyone, but these are all still teams that everybody looks at and you're like, okay, that could be a pretty scary matchup. So I think for both of these squads, you're looking at this matchup as probably your easiest remaining game left for the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely, right? It is going to be a difficult spot. 5 wins, maybe would be enough to get you into playoffs. We'll have to see how things all shake out. Obviously, We'll be looking at playoff scenarios a lot more next week, which is going to be the final week of the season.
Smolder just hit 50 stacks.
3 games remaining after they finish up here.
Not bad for 11 minutes.
Both these teams really tough, but it is going to be an exciting.
I guess a little bit slow. I guess it's a little bit slow. You want to hit the 225 by about 25 minutes. He hasn't been able to harass probably a lot, but the stacks come a lot faster the longer the game goes on, and you can actually clear waves more effectively with your Q.
Drake of the game, just about on timer from the first. Remember, the first one fell 6.5 minutes in, so about an extra 30 seconds required to start this one up here for them. But it looks like once again there'll be no contest. Shopify secured Drake number 2 for themselves. And we are going to get another Cloud Rift here today. You can see a lot of On My Way pings coming out on the Grub Pit as well, recognizing, hey, that's already up there. Dignitas got the first 3. They want to try to be able to challenge for this. Remember, so many times we see junglers just do a quick drive-by, smite away one of the grubs, stop them from getting that full 6 and the bonus that you would have from double Void Might spawns. Right now, Boogie is heading right there. Also worth noting, we talked earlier about Fake God losing the flash and how that affected the Jace matchup. There was not any subsequent punish on him for that. He's got the flash up, ready to go again, so he can continue to try to play more aggressively on that champion, as Shopify is just going to get their bottom lane.
Why is this game so good, guys?
Try not to lose too much more to this. XU is still hanging out here, but B-Boy and Zay's
All right, so Boogie is going for Iceborne.
For Iceborne here on the Volibear.
Yeah.
It's obviously a pretty popular build, but I feel like I've been seeing more and more people go towards Thunder Sky and tank. I know Kobe plays basically exclusively Volibear these days. He's in the one-trick status, and he feels that that build is a lot stronger. Thunder Sky obviously just has so much value. And a lot of these early scraps, we're going to see if they can find a turnaround here on B-Boy.
Oh, they send Mom over the top, but the tidal wave turning around back at him means that they cannot close the gap in time. Zazel protecting B-Boy as he makes his way back underneath the tier 1 turret to stop Tomo and Isles in their tracks.
So do you feel like Shopify have gotten enough out of the early game here? I mean, they got a couple dragons. That's really their only advantage.
I don't really think so. I mean, Smolder has farmed more plates than Lucian has. I don't really love it. I feel like I'm just seeing Lucian flipping ulti on cooldown. Whoa.
Here comes the dive, though. B-Boy in some trouble, trying to get away from this one. Does have to pop the flash below half HP, and there was a lot of dignity.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten anything done in the bot lane. We haven't seen any Volibear like ults yet, and he's level 8. It's not great situation.
Is just kind of feeling the pressure to get something going, realizing they're not getting enough done, they're not being able to
Mandate done for Nami now, that's helpful.
Just letting it rip. I mean, maybe a little bit of like, I gotta make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, he might be getting like a modest first strike payout, but definitely not what you want to see from Nami Lucian in lane. I feel like when it looks good, it's like we're dashing forward, we're like chunking them to 1 HP, they're missing CS, they're burning sums, but he's kind of just hitting Nautilus with ult.
Okay, we didn't flash Gnarl.
Isles now the focus. Fake God puts a little DPS into him, but Isles still walking away with about 1/3.
A little bit desperate from Rich, but his Mega Gnar bar was almost done, so had to do something.
Only a 4-grub game this time around, with Shopify having enough control over the topside river to immediately start up the Herald.
Yeah, should be able to grab this Herald. Obviously, it was a bit of a dicey moment there from Isles. He had already used his summoners down on that failed bot dive. But now Smolder going to be rotating over towards mid. They're going to shove a Dove down towards that bot lane. And I think with Sejuani, you should definitely be giving Raptors over to Tomo. Looks like that's going to be the case here. As once you have the AoE on the Q, you can just start stacking up so quickly by farming a lot of these jungle
Chance for
camps.
XU to XU didn't have smite. Oh, I see, might have been able to steal that.
Those extra jungle camps, especially Raptors and Krugs, you can get so many extra stacks off of that really accelerate you to 125, where it just gets easier and easier and easier as you're picking up more CDR, you're getting more AoE, and you can really accelerate to where we saw, from Tactical, even from a point where I want to say he was around like 50 stacks or something at this point in the game. He still got to 225 by 26 minutes because he got such a massive amount throughout this mid game. We'll see how quickly Tomo can stack it up, and if he's going to be donated all those jungle camps as well.
We talk about accelerating the pace of the game, accelerating the pace of your stacking or whatever, but unfortunately the reality of this game is no first blood in almost 16
Yeah.
minutes. I am praying for a ring.
It's really crazy that we haven't seen any kills yet.
Along those lines, as neither team has really found the opportunity to make any seriously aggressive plays.
B-Boy is Korean, Matty Man.
Either perspective is fine. What's the big play that you would look for to really try to break things open here in this mid game?
I think it's going to come down to third Drake. I feel like that's usually the pressure timing when, if, for example, your dig side, you're like, okay, we drafted scaling lanes, let's kind of just scale up, give first 2 Drakes, then we can contest third. So I feel like it's about to get to that timing where maybe they're willing to butt heads. Smolder has some stacks, everyone has some items.
And when you're looking at the item
Yeah, B-Boy's been pretty good.
even across the board here. So no
You know, I was wondering when Wild Turtle was looking pretty solid at the start of the season about whether the B-Boy would be able to hold on to the starting spot, but he's been good.
And they're going to drop Herald bot, so it should be a turret going down. Dove in trouble.
Ooh, Boogie with the flash for the engage, but now he's going to ult the tower so they can keep on diving. First blood over to Hwei, and they're about to make it too. Boogie keeps himself alive. The Herald's going to be summoned up to take the turret as well, and Shopify Rebellion smacks him.
We'll see if they can get anything back on the B-Boy here. The ulti tags, and that was close.
That was way too close, man. The clutch Nami heal just to try and make sure that he does not die. Ooh, Boogie keeps himself alive. The Herald's going to be summoned up to take the turret as well, and Shopify's going to ult the tower so they can keep on.
Big one-item spike for that Lucian.
Love to see it.
And they're going to drop Herald.
It's a really well executed play, actually. Drop Herald,
Going down, Dove.
flash Q,
Boogie with the flash for the engage.
turn off the turret.
Ult the tower so they can keep on diving. First blood over to
Very nicely
Hwei,
done.
and they're
It's a good
about to
dive.
make it too. Boogie keeps himself alive. The Herald's going to be summoned up to take the turret as well, and Shopify Rebellion smacks him.
We'll see if they can get anything back on the B-Boy here. The ulti tags, and that was close.
That was way too close, man. The clutch Nami heal just to try and make sure that he does not die to Smolder's mom. But Shopify now 2,000 gold in the league.
Insanity shielded him as well with the WWE there. The shield from Hwei, I think, actually kept him alive because it looked like that was insanely close before that Nami heal landed. Hwei going to TP up towards top. They're going to try to keep the pressure onto these additional towers. Dragon stacking. So I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't elect to actually fight the trap before. Insanity shielded him as well with the WWE.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they are giving this up. I mean, I get the volley's low, but volley can actually just heal almost up to full probably off of Crab alone, just from W and jungle healing.
Just to try and make sure that he does not die to Smolder's mom. But Shopify now 2,000 gold in the league.
Insanity shielded him as well.
How long it took you to learn Korean? How fluent are you? My Korean's pretty basic. I'm trying to go to Japan in October, and I'm trying my best to learn as much as I can to converse well. It's a lot easier to get by with Japan is very difficult to get by as an English speaker because it's harder to read things, because in Korean you can learn how to read Korean in like a couple hours, and there's a lot more signage in English, whereas Japan, it's a lot harder. You have to learn like the 3 different fucking writing systems, and nobody speaks any English. Like, English education's really bad there. In Korea it's better. So good luck, man. Japan's hard.
Punish there on the enemy jungler as that volley continues trying to invade, trying to control this territory, but it ain't gonna work.
Korea is much more English friendly than Japan is, in my experience. Love Japan, but unless you're going to Okinawa, then everybody just speaks English there because it's been an American military base since World War II. Very easy to get by with English in Okinawa. Finally got some into the AM to support you guys. Thank you, Vobacon. You'll enjoy the clothing. They make good stuff.
Third Drake is the fight point, and we mentioned how it ended up going for free over to Dignitas. If you're on the side of Shopify,
I hope in supporting us, you also get clothing that you like. We're trying to make an equitable exchange with our fans at LFN, which is you get things that you like, and we get sponsors.
These guys look reasonably strong now, actually. Lucian and Nami both on 2 cores, so I think at this point, like mindset-wise, if I was Shopify, I would just be like happy that.
And if you guys haven't gotten some into the AM yet, you should, because their sale is ending today. And their sale is like 30 to 80% off, plus you get 10% off with our code LFN. So if you go to intotheam.com/LFN, and they do shipping worldwide and like free shipping to a lot of countries. Obviously US, but a lot of other countries in Europe and shit too. So there you go. There's your shilling for today. You watched Blue Eye Samurai per our recommendation and loved it? Yeah, also guys, go subscribe to the Culture channel. There it is. Last Free Nation Culture on YouTube. Go subscribe now, so you too can get recommended good shows to watch.
You have the from the Nami, like all these
Into the AM had some involvement with Splice merch. Yeah, they used to do some esports merch a few years ago.
sacrificing sustained damage for that.
Free delivery for Aussie on orders over 225 Australian. Not bad. Yep.
Just gonna make up for it.
Yep.
I think if they keep finding
You also can get a lot of shit for 225 bucks with the sale that's going on, and all the discount and the 10% discount from our code. You can get a lot. You'll get some good bang for your Australian
And it was actually some
buckaroos.
in week 1 when he was playing really well on the Lucian, and would constantly be able to chunk people out, but never actually convert that into an objective, never actually convert that into a kill. They couldn't kind of push it over.
Did I see Dune 2? Not yet. I have kids, so I have to figure out how I'm going to go do that.
You know, have that straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak, where you start to get really a lot more.
Smolder at approximately 140. Yeah, he's actually stacking pretty slow, looks like, this game. He's at 150 at 20 minutes, so it's been a bit of a slow road.
For a fight, whereas Shopify's gonna have to try to poke him. Fake God though, he might be in a rough spot. The shutdown over to Rich as Dove gets the shield from the Seraphs, and Boogie doesn't have the damage to take him out just yet. B-Boy swoops in and he finds that quick 1-2 pop. He gets back away thanks to the healing from the Nami, and Boogie's ready to lock down Rich. He should die in the meantime, but instead he's gonna walk away. Insanity swoops in and spiraling despair consumes X. It's back
Oh
away,
my
thanks to the
God.
healing from the Nami, and Boogie's ready to lock down Rich. He should die in the meantime, but instead he's gonna walk away.
Gets the E shield and W.
And he finds
Damn.
that quick 1-2 pop. He gets back away thanks to the healing from the Nami, and Boogie's ready to lock down Rich. He should die in the meantime, but instead he's gonna walk away. Insanity swoops in and spiraling despair consumes XU. A double kill back over to the Hui. Dignitas lose 3, Shopify lose 2. We finally
Wow.
get a little bit of PvP on Summoner's Rift.
Man, Boogie got out of there with no health whatsoever. That
Taz lose Rich. He should Seraphs, and Boogie doesn't have the damage to take him out just
Look
yet.
at Lucian. Okay, he dashes forward, gets Dove. Okay. Flashes out. He walks into Sejuani ult. just the Sejuani ult that was lying on the ground. That's funny.
Lose 3, Shopify lose 2. We finally got a little bit of PvP on Summoner's Rift.
Man, Boogie got out of there with
Ah,
no
well.
health whatsoever.
It happens. That can actually be hard to see, guys. Look at that. It's hard to see that, honestly.
Insanity swoops in and spiraling despair. 2 pop. He gets back away thanks to the healing from the Nami, and boom.
Like, that's not obvious, guys. Especially when it's spiraling into the center and he just walks into the very outer edge of it, right?
But instead he's gonna walk away. Insanity swoops
That's
in
just
and
unlucky.
spiraling despair consumes XU. A double kill back over to the Hui. Dignitas lose 3, Shopify lose 2. We finally got a little bit of PvP on Summoner's Rift.
Man, Boogie got out of there with no health whatsoever. That missed all from XU, though, really has to hurt. Felt like they could have got more there.
He actually ended up picking up the Lucian off just the explosion.
The origin of the term boosted animal. No. That was we said that with the Lucian play, but no, we were not the origin of it. That was a common term.
That does the last little bit of damage he needs. Tomo not respecting Insanity's damage potential.
Yeah, a little bit surprised that he elected not to flash or anything there. I guess just didn't think that it was going to be a way out. But we can see the fight one more time. You know, Rich finishing off the turret, gets the Mega Gnar into the turret there. And Dove, you know, able to actually burst down Fake out quite a bit. But Fake out critically got a lot of damage out before he went down. Talk us through the rest of the fight here, Pope.
Oh man, so Sejuani.
I mean, this is good from B-Voy because the Talia E is down, and he's using a window where he knows he can dash in before Talia E comes back up and uses the culling. So he actually just gets the kill down, flashes out, kites back, gets healed.
Actually, look, he walks into the ulti explosion and he dies.
Ooh, that's an oof.
I thought this Volibear was gonna burn to death, but he lives with like 1 HP with the Triumph proc.
Yeah, Triumph. You saw the 114 there. Healed him.
Like, you look at Sejuani ulti, you always think about the lockdown, the initial burst, the after effect is just, you know, a side thought, a secondary thing in your mind. Yeah, it's like, what does that even do? That never does any damage, but it does just enough damage to kill Lucian in that moment. But it looks like Shopify and Dig are ready to square off here for the next Drake. Remember, it's a 2-to-1 lead favoring Shopify as they had that total Drake control early on. Now the engage coming out from Isles. He flashes back away so they don't find the counter-attack. Nice. Mom finding its way onto 2 as Zazel and Boogie.
Oh, he actually
Shopify as they had that
They
early
dodge the
control.
Mega Gnar engage.
Coming out from Isles, he flashes back away so they don't find the counterattack. Nice, Mom finding its way onto 2.
It's pretty nice. I mean, look, Rich has a
Engage coming out from Isles, he flashes back away so they don't find the counterattack. Nice, Mom finding its way on. Now the engage coming out from Isles, he flashes.
the Rich
back
is
away
like
so they don't
right
find
at
the
Mega
counterattack.
here.
Nice, Mom finding its way onto 2.
So he tries to get the engage, forces the flash out of Insanity.
Here for a second. Dignitas falling back after their initial attempt does not find any full kills. Still about 3,000 gold favoring Shopify. And considering they did not get bursted down super low, now they're going to start up the Drake. They're going to try to force their opponents to either come into them or they're just going to have to take...
What's the into the AM code? LFN. IntoTheAM.com/LFN. Get it now before their sale ends. Their sale ends today, guys. So the LFN code will give you an additional 10% off, in addition to like 30 to 80% off a lot of their items for the sale. So you get that discount plus the LFN discount. It's a very good deal. And they make good shit. They make good shit. I have a bunch of their like unbranded T-shirts and a couple of their graphic tees now. I have one of their tank tops. I have joggers from them. It's all great. Would recommend. Yes, the sale stacks on top of the 10% discount code. So you can get a fuck ton of money off. Just remember, guys, when you look at the shirts, they have a size guide, and it's like a matrix of your height and weight. And I'm a large in their size, and the large, it's like a fitted large, so it fits me very nicely. But, you know, I'm kind of like on the border of medium and large in a lot of brands, so just make sure you get the right size. Limpy 7030, just look at the size guide. It'll have like a grid of your height and weight.
Get that sustain, be able to start shrugging off a lot of the poke that they can dash out.
What does B-Boy get hit by here? He's trying to deal like, oh, he gets hit by not ult. He dashes forward. This is what I was talking about, guys. It's very dangerous. When I was talking at the start of the game, it's very hard for him to get upfront damage because Nautilus is so strong into Lucian. Because if you need to be able to play on the edge like that to get damage down, and if you start doing that, then you can get targeted very easily by like not ult or Sejuani ult. And then, like we saw there, if the not ult hits you, because he doesn't have flash, if the not ult hits you, then what happens is the Taliyah just puts E on you, and you can't escape. I mean, he just gets hit by Taliyah WE right there.
Dignitas got a 5v3. Baron's the call. Enemy jungler is down. Fake God and Insanity still have a lot of range to try to mess with these guys. Try to get them off of there, but it's a tall order. Baron down to about half HP now already. Spiraling Despair finds its way onto XU, but that's...
Holy fuck!
Cow! Mess with these guys.
What?
Try to get them off of there, but it's a tall order. Baron down to about half HP now already. Spiraling Despair finds its way onto...
He literally just gets hit by the poke and the ultimate, and he just gets 100 to 0. What are his items? Oh, he has no MR. He has cooldown boots, frozen heart, and he's building Sunfire, I guess. So he... So he has no MR. That's why he gets destroyed. Doorpost 877. Thank you for your tier 1 Twitch subscription. I appreciate it.
Enemy jungler is down. Fake God and Insanity still have a lot of range to try to mess with these guys. Try to get them off of there, but it's a tall order. Baron down to about half HP now already. Spiraling Despair finds its way onto XU, but that's still the tag. Holy cow! Huey just gets it done. The burst on this champion is criminal, man. Rich goes over the wall trying to find some kind of an angle here. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade on that one as Dove tries to escape, but Fake God just gets it done. The burst on this champion is criminal, man. Rich goes over the wall trying to find some kind of an angle here. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade on that one as Dove tries to escape, but Fake God is hot on his heels. He needs a little bit more burst.
He kills the fucking Smolder too.
Some kind of an angle here. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade on that one as Dove tries to escape, but Fake God is hot on his heels. He needs a...
Yeah, he actually just nukes the Smolder too. It's so funny.
Another kill comes in.
This is such an insanity champ, by the way. I love it. Such an insanity champ.
Bolt, man, the QW there, the isolated damage from the way is just insane.
Did I already watch the NRG game? No.
Multiple of those, and just executes XU in the pit, then is able to get another one out on Tomo after he went out of the wall to actually take him down as well.
3v5 Baron hold, that's crazy.
I mean, this is absolutely crazy. There's the ulti, the Spiraling Despair, and this is the QW, the isolated execute there. No one else was in it with him. Do you think that's just a case where XU, just doesn't realize how much damage that's
XU is having a game, guys.
I think, like, you gotta dash the play route. After you get hit by the route, it's over. But for sure, I think he could have Sejuani queued out of it. Maybe he didn't see it. It's kind of a difficult spell to track sometimes.
Yeah, and there's that root again. You called it out. The root really powerful. I think sometimes underused. Sometimes people, I think, default to using the fear CC way too much, or the EE. The root setting up the QW is so powerful, especially in these chaotic fights where, again, Tomo had cleanse and flash. I don't think he saw the root. I don't think he saw the QW coming through, because he could have got out of there. And that's one of the few things you can actually use cleanse on in this fight. If he flashes out of that, could be pretty different, but
so he has Crypt Bloom now. I guess he's just going to build Death Cap. He's full glass cannon. Insanity. Seems risky because, there's a lot of potential threat. Like, you could get flashed on. Remember, he almost got flashed on by Rich already in Meganar, and that's why his flash is on cooldown right now. You could get walled off from behind. I mean, you have to be very conscious about Talia wall coming in and then Gnar ulting you into Talia wall, right? Because you basically, this combo, you set up the terrain with Talia and then you can Gnar ult people into it. You could get hit by a hook or you could get hit by a Sejuani ult. There's a lot of things. So I would say Zhonya's is probably better here. You're far enough ahead. You already do enough damage. Like, you're doing fucking crazy damage as it is. XU built Knight's Vow, which I guess will help some. But, I mean, they don't really... He's finally building MR at the moment, but they don't really have MR outside of this Negatron in the top side. I really think he should build some kind of defensive item.
I mean, they definitely have not optimized. I mean, they moved him mid at one point, but then shortly after they moved him mid, they just sent him back down towards bot, right? When you're playing around mid, when you can stack off the wave, then take the Raptors, then take the Wolves, and you just keep doing this kind of cycle.
Do I think Hui is OP, Dominic? No, I don't. I mean, he's a low mobility champion. Like, you can actually just get on top of him and kill him.
We saw yesterday, Tactical got up well over 300 stacks.
Zhonya's is built out of needlessly large rod now. True. It's built out of arm guard, needlessly large rod, but I don't think he would build the rod first if he was building Zhonya's. That's my thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Usually you build arm guard first so that you can get the value out of the arm guard active, destroy it, and then you get it again once you upgrade.
Fight for this dragon here, not wanting to give up soul over to Shopify, but we'll see. Shopify can find the poke before the fight to deny it.
All right, we've still got a 2,500 gold lead.
I mean, this is pretty disrespectful.
Find the poke stacks, it's always worth doing it.
Like, Rich is at Mega, right? He's Mega because you just saw him on that ward. There's a ward right here as well that they can't see, so you literally know he's standing right here on Mega. You know that because you just saw him walk there and you haven't seen him walk out the other side. And so to walk up like this, especially for Insanity, he doesn't even have a chance to flash it. It's a great combo by Dig, but they should have known that Rich was there in Mega. It was a good kill, though, from B-Boy. I like how Tomo just cleanse flashes for no reason. But it doesn't matter because he already got the big dragon to shoot or fire, so who cares? Maybe he thinks he can cleanse the Lucian ultimate.
careful here. He steps away from the rock. He tries to dash back out, but Isles locks down Fake God. And Dove is...
This is also the problem, guys, with this composition. Like I said, you have to be first mover onto the objective. But this is just, it's really bad, guys. I mean, look, there's a ward right here. You literally see this guy with his Nar bar. And you, B-Voice here, he knows that Rich hasn't moved. Like, you know where Rich is, guys. You know where he is. Why is Insanity walking up here?
For Shopify, Tomo trying to get away as B-Boy wants to burst him. Nami OT over the top. Tomo's already down. Shopify loses 2 men. A shutdown. Only with Sanity from Dove. Absolutely massive as Dignitas still has 4 players ready to go. Rich takes out Boogie. They're flashing after B-Boy. He tries to escape with the wall and won't find him. Now Dove goes riding the Weaver's wall, but Fake God's ready to answer. Dove goes golden, and B-Boy's got to be careful here.
Swish 214. Thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I will gladly take any tier 1 subscriptions and or Bezos bucks and or YouTube memberships that you guys feel like giving me.
Pretty much for free. Watch Tomo on the left side of your screen as Rich steps up. You know, B-Boy's going to come in. Tomo goes over, and Tomo basically just dies 100 to 0, wastes both the sums, doesn't dodge anything, and they still are able to win this fight. Like, look at this. He flashes after just into more of the culling, dies, but look at the damage here. Dig over the wall. Such a good CC combo.
Insanity also gets one shot though, and he's definitely way more useful of a target than the Smolder.
Yeah, when the team has 9 kills total and one dude has 7, you cannot afford to lose that dude. Dove trying to go into the back line, find the plays here.
But this is the issue, is that you're dealing with a squishy poke composition trying to walk into Drake. You have to have that objective priority first and force them to walk into you.
You called it out. Is that strongest member by far. Dies, still has a bounty afterwards, which always is a terrible feeling after you give up like a 1K shutdown and you still have a bounty. But Dignitas take the second dragon. We're back around the Baron area here, trying to find that setup. I haven't really been able to get anything going in the side lanes, it feels like, from Shopify. The Jace has felt like a side note. You know, it doesn't really feel like Fake God has been able to get too involved whatsoever in this one.
Yeah, I will say though, as Jace, as you start to reach more and more items, he's like an okay scaling pick. He can land poke. They don't really have any heals on the other side, and if you can hit Clear or Smolder with QE, I think that's decent enough value to make the pick feel worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, the thing is, it's got to be hitting Smolder, but it has to be Smolder has to have no minions or anything else around too, right? Because he has BT at this point. You know, we're pretty late into the game, so...
Thank you, Plurist Purist and JPEG EXE for your Twitch Prime subs. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Does not connect with the Glacial Prison on anybody else from Shopify's squad. Double control.
Are you able to do YouTube memberships now? Yes, I have enabled it. Thank you very much.
Shopify, trying to make sure that they at least maintain some.
And if you are a YouTube member, I can do things like release my videos to members only sooner. So
first time this game here in the past 60 seconds or so, a Dignitas gold lead. Even though it's only a couple hundred, it has been in Shopify's favor the entire time. Otherwise, Shopify now trying to retake control of the topside river.
Yeah. So what do you think is the job now here for, you know, for Insanity, for Dove? What should the mid laners be looking to try to get done over these next couple minutes?
Next power rankings win this next week.
I feel like overall Dig is playing the comp a bit better. You know, Nautilus keeps landing hooks, and they're finding the CC.
Timmy boy, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it.
I feel like Shopify is just...
Thank you for doing these. I do have fun doing these, guys. We got a lot of games in the coming week. The question is, do I do my power rankings before Gen G T1? I feel like I probably have to wait for Gen G versus T1. Because inevitably, when I put T1 at number 1, if I do my power rankings, Gen G will beat them. And if I don't do my power rankings, then T1 wins. Because that's how the world works. The world is actually just influenced by my power rankings. It's a crazy power that I have to immediately, you know, put BLG as number 1 and then they lose to IG, right? It's a strange power that only I possess.
He's only 1 kill behind where Insanity is. He he has completed his 4th major non-boots item. Insanity's still working towards that, and for Insanity, it is a massive purchase. The death cap going to be item number 4 here, so trying to hit that power spike before a fight would be huge for them, but Dignitas do not want to open that window. They're already starting up the Baron. They're daring Shopify to come and try to answer this. The TP will show up. The Baron's still at 6,000 as Dignitas disengage.
Yep, exactly. They knew Jace went down towards bottom side. I think they saw him on that ward crossing over by the enemy blue. So saw him going down towards bot. They wanted to get that TP. As soon as the TP comes out, they weren't looking for an actual fight. They just back right off. Look at that poke, though. Down on top.
Monty's rankings are the Madden cover of LoL. It's the curse on of the team on the cover of my power rankings. I think I'll probably wait until T1 versus Gen G.
Combine the 2 sticks into the hat. Once he gets that massive AP bonus, this dude is
So early next week, I would
the
say.
entire team fight. As B-Boy, again, just trying to look to trade really swiftly with this on-hit build, with this proc, I should say, since it's the Storm Razor plus the Rapid Fire all together. Dignitas trying to stay grouped up. Double buffs ready to go here on the whole team. And they'll push up as 5. Or push up into the river as 5.
Yeah, okay. Now it's a question of just, Shopify looking to try to control around that Baron area. Obviously, the idea is always, oh, if Dignitas go for the Dragon, we take the Baron. I don't feel like those plays ever really work. And Fake may have just caught himself.
Fake guide.
Shopify looking to try to control around that Baron area. Obviously, the idea.
Just a reminder, this could have been Licorice or Revenge. But instead, he jumps on top of a Mega Gnar and then gets ulted. Yep. 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 Guys, do you think he should flash? Do you think he should flash, or do you think he should jump on top of Rich as Rich is turning into Mega and then get ulted into a wall and killed? What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
With a 5v4 for the next 45 seconds, but the Drake is spawning now. Dignitas should be able to secure this one for free, and Fake God is a costly mistake on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he takes that trade in mid. He still has flash available. I think he went Hammer Form and just kind of went in and killed himself.
Yeah, kills bad, man. I mean, Nar just jumped on him and ulted him into a wall.
Flash ward and kill Talia.
Well, I mean, now is the sole point.
Yeah.
For Dignitas, that's 3 straight dragons for Dig. We have 4 if you count Smolder. He's got 305 stacks, so they already got their Elder in, man. 300, I think, is the benchmark where it hits 10% on the
It was the most North American Jace play ever. What do you think of Sniper? I think Sniper's a very fun player. I'm excited by him. I think he's super entertaining. Has a lot of mechanical talent. Hopefully he has a bright future. Him and Masu are the players that I think are most interesting, who are rookies this year.
From the 125 stack upgrade as well, and it becomes very, very difficult to actually play around it.
All right, we are hitting critical mass for so many of these champions. Dove now with the needlessly large rod in inventory working towards...
How much do you think my League of Legends account with Black Alistair is worth, guys? How much is a Black Alistair skin worth?
With that BF sword sitting in inventory, it's going to come down to just the blink of an eye, I feel like, with the way that these team fights have been playing out, with how fast these health bars have been exploding. It's Shopify once again on the defense as Dignitas try to push up, sit down some vision.
Sporked. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
Poke out Tomo, but he's just going to be able to fly over the wall there.
I appreciate it.
B-Boy was dashing forward. It's just so tough, right? And all they can do is kind of sit back, try to get this poke, try to find some sort of a window to find a way
999 Don FM. Yes, we are doing the YouTube streams. I'm glad you appreciate them. I'm the #1 LOL multi-streamer.
Here comes the Weaver's wall. It's Insanity.
No, Insanity, why? I love Shopify, man. Why do they keep losing? But this is what I was talking about, guys. Like, he gets Nautilus ulted, and he gets isolated by the Talia ult. He gets bounced on top of the wall. That looked really weird. Oh, man. Nice bubble. He's so vulnerable into this Dignitas composition.
Yeah, it's a huge pick over onto Insanity. They don't get Boogie critically. They are going to be going over towards that Baron. You can see they're already onto it, trying to force Shopify to come into them. They can look for the turn, and there's Dove catching Boogie.
Boogie in trouble, man. The lollipop hook finds him. Dove needs a little bit more damage, but now the hammer form Fake up wants to go to the skies. B-Boy grabs the kill back on Isles, but the fight ain't done yet. Rich has rejoined the fight after using the Unleashed teleport, and Dignitas, they may have lost.
All right, Fake can go back. He's got TP. He can come back in.
Should be free Baron.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be there. Baron, B-Boy, and Zazel trying to get something done. The TP's coming back here from Fake God. We'll see if they can make a miracle.
Oh, he's Mega. It's no shot.
The Gnar bar charged. He's ready to go. Mega Gnar, the ulti, ready to cast. Baron down to 2,000 HP.
You know, it's really just indicative of their comp that, you know, like I said, it's very hard for them to get in onto objectives. If Dignitas has priority with the comp that they have, and this is, I mean, this is why they've lost like 3 Drakes in a row, even though they've been on Soul Point for forever. And they can't control Baron at all.
There's nothing for them to get.
Like, how do you...
They can't run over to a dragon and grab soul, so they can push up.
Like, how do you muscle your way in? Like, you just don't have tankiness to face check for vision. And even if you see them on it, you need time to poke them. And you can't engage. They have 0 engage.
All right, talk us through this replay here, Bo Belter.
All right, I think they had a really good engage. Lucian dashes in. They immediately come with the Talia.
I mean, it's a very well executed engage by Dignitas. Thank you, Dandamite777, for your Twitch Prime sub.
Easy CC to play off of. Gnar hits Mega and he's juggling aggro of like 2-3 people. I feel like the fight is just pretty much over after the play one shot, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing the power of that engage, right? The power of the combo. You know, the guaranteed setup there with the depth charge from the Nautilus.
Sonya's flash doesn't get him out of there. No, it's a hard comp to play into. Like, they needed to get that fucking soul or a Baron much earlier.
Much of a result, unfortunately, for him is, you know, it was all kind of just into the back of Rich, who was able to flash out and survive. And on the other
Dashes in, they immediately come with the Talia ult and they get the one shot on Hwei by comboing with Talia combo. This feels so good as Talia, by the way. Just have this easy CC to play off of. Gnar hits Mega and he's juggling aggro of like 2-3 people. I feel like the fight is just pretty much over after the play one shot, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing the power of a lot of damage. They couldn't do the same. And look at that Q poke just through the minion from Tomo. It is getting so deadly here at this point. He is now over that 10% XQ benchmark.
For the past 39 minutes, it's finally time, 30 seconds from now, for the soul to go over one way or the other.
This game was mostly just depressing, guys. That Shopify couldn't close this out.
But we've already been talking about how many items are in the inventories. It's not going to be...
Yeah, he absolutely could have flashed that because he like, if you watch here, he did have flash up. He knows the not ult is on him. If he flashes out, if he flashes over, he probably makes it out because he wouldn't get Talia comboed afterwards. He was probably worried about the Gnar ult, but I think you just have to preemptively flash that. But, I mean, the reason why he probably doesn't is he sees this Gnar with almost a full bar there. That's why B-Voy flashes right here. You see B-Voy dashed, and he's like, oh shit, there's a Gnar there, so he flashes. But, yeah, he should have flashed. And then if the Gnar does hit Mega, you can use Zonia's, and at least you can waste a lot of time and potentially have your team deal some more damage.
6.5% of your health as the burn in true damage and a 10% XQ on every Q.
But he went Death Cap instead of Zonia's.
All right, gentlemen, we have been trading Drakes for the past 39 minutes. It's finally time, 30 seconds from now, for the soul to go over one way or the other. Big chunk onto Isles. They're taking him down to about 1,000 HP. It's a 2k gold lead for Dig, but we've already been talking about how many items are in the inventories. It's not going to be that impactful at this point in the game. Dignitas with control over the bot side river. Shopify trying to check into it, but the range and the power of Tomo's Smolder is doing some work on these guys. Tomo still looking to shoot another one of those snot bubbles over the wall. And Shopify have lost half HP on both support and jungler. The seem to have complete and total control over the bot side river. And
have I watched CL versus C9? I'll do it next.
Just gonna have to give it up. I mean, yeah, B-Boy has some lifesteal, but Boogie was down to half HP. Zazel was down to half HP. They had no vision. It'd be so difficult to actually walk in there, knowing that the engage is all on the other side. There's just no way to really fight it out in these situations. Unless you're first to the objective and they're walking into you, then you can get a lot more done.
Now it's just extra doomed, guys. Sejuani, Smolder, Nautilus, all with
feel like
Cloud
there's no
Soul.
answer to this Smolder at this point. They
I mean,
have
Cloud
nobody
Soul's
getting on top
useless
of
for
him. He's
Talia.
standing at max range.
And it's kind of
Everyone
useless for Gnar.
chunking
It's not
forward,
great
and
for
he's
Gnar
still
because it
just
doesn't
striking harder and harder.
set up your engage, right?
Got caught here. B-boy.
And like once you've used Mega Gnar, I mean, do you need it that much? But really good on Nautilus and Sejuani.
From that Weaver's wall, Boogie now locked up next. Gets back out with half HP. XU has to flash back out to guarantee that he survives. There was a lot thrown out there, but no dead bodies on either team. Tomo had to use the cleanse. Blue will be secured by Shopify. They don't give that over to Dignitas.
And your job just gets even harder now with the Cloud Soul on the other side. So much additional move speed to this team. If it wasn't already hard enough to escape the engagement.
What is that rolling raccoon? Big rack. That rolling raccoon, 8-bit raccoon emote is hilarious.
Dignitas feels happy to just honestly keep farming out, to keep stacking on Smolder and look to play towards these objectives. You know, that has been the name of the game for them. They're not really overextending. They're not really giving any opportunities to Shopify. And it feels like a game where unless there's an easy opportunity given to them, they're just going to play for Elder. They're just going to wait for Baron, wait for Elder, just keep stacking up these objectives.
So I'll go ahead and ask you guys, Pobetter, I'll start with you. What do you put Shopify's chances in this game now? Because it really does feel like the cards are entirely stacked against them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like 15, 20%. I feel like this Lucian is 6-slot. He can still dash forward and potentially one-shot Smolder. Smolder missed positions, but I think it's Smolder's game to kind of lose. I think it's Dig's game to lose, especially now that they have
Q on a people. Getting pretty confident though.
Yeah, Lucian. Unless it's 100.
Come in, they know probably the only way they could really lose this is Tomo getting randomly one-shot. So they're going to be playing around that. We have the Knight's Vow for him. We have the Locket for him. You know, this kind of support itemization obviously does make a lot of sense at this point in the game. Sejuani also picking up a Knight's Vow as well, which is on.
He's talking about itemization. It's a 3,000 gold lead for Dig, and the entire gold lead is the difference between Talia and the Hui. Dove is full 6 items. Insanity still only sitting on 5+ control wards. TP coming in now. Shopify trying to disengage. The mom flies out, but it only hits B-Boy. Dignitas not.
All right, come on, please end this game.
Just yet, but the Glacial Prison finding Dignitas not getting a whole lot out of that one here just yet, but the Glacial Prison finding Insanity, forcing him to trying to disengage. The mom
So Mikhails clears the Sejuani ult.
Dignitas not getting a whole lot out of that one here.
So really good Mikhails timing by Zazel.
Finding Insanity, forcing him to save him from the CC as Tomo has to try to flash away. Now Shopify again on the back foot. Insanity hit by the seismic shove. That could be the pick that does it. Dove finds him, and now Shopify has to try to defend, but Fake God's gonna die next. Tomo taking the kill. It's 5v3 for the next 50 seconds.
It looks like they may just be going. It's caught.
Falling, but they'll slams him at 13. They'll take down.
I think that was an extremely difficult composition for Shopify to play. Like actually zero engage. So if you just don't maintain objective priority for the entire game, it's very, very difficult.